The Mirror of Justice, A Tale of the Judge and the White Man. In a small town nestled between rolling hills and vast farmlands, the courthouse stood as a symbol of law and order. Its weathered walls had borne witness to decades of disputes, crimes, and resolutions. It was here that Judge Adrian Bellamy presided, a man revered for his unyielding commitment to justice and his ability to see through deceit. Judge Bellamy was a figure of calm authority, with a sharp mind and a demeanor that commanded respect. His courtroom was not a place for theatrics or trickery, it was a place where truth was unearthed and fairness prevailed. Many sought his judgment, knowing that he would not be swayed by power or prejudice. One cold January morning, the townspeople gathered in the courthouse for what would become one of the most talked about trials in years. The accused was Henry Alden, a prominent white businessman in the community. Henry owned a chain of grocery stores and was known for his philanthropy, particularly his contributions to a charity that supported underprivileged children in the region. But now, he was being accused of a crime that could ruin both his reputation and his life: embezzlement. The prosecutor, a sharp and ambitious lawyer named Martha Crane, presented her case with confidence. She laid out damning evidence, altered bank records, forged receipts, and testimonies from charity board members who claimed that funds had been siphoned off under Henry's management. "Your Honor," Martha began, her voice steady and persuasive, "the evidence is clear. Mr. Alden betrayed the trust of this community. He took money meant for children, innocent children who rely on this charity for food and education. This is not just a crime of theft, it is a crime of moral bankruptcy." Henry, sitting at the defendant's table, appeared pale but resolute. When called to testify, he spoke firmly. "I am innocent," he said, looking directly at Judge Bellamy. "I have dedicated my life to helping others. Why would I destroy everything I built for a crime I didn't commit? Someone is framing me, Your Honor, and I beg this court to see the truth." The courtroom buzzed with whispers. Some believed Henry's plea, others were skeptical. After all, wasn't it often the powerful who escaped justice while the weak suffered? Judge Bellamy raised his hand, and the room fell silent. "This court will not tolerate speculation," he said firmly. "Let the evidence, and only the evidence, guide us." As the trial progressed, the defense attorney, Robert Hayes, began to dismantle the prosecution's case. He pointed out inconsistencies in the testimonies of the charity board members. Most notably, he cast doubt on the credibility of Ethan Grayson, the charity's young accountant. Ethan had testified that he noticed irregularities in the charity's accounts over the past year. However, under cross-examination, it became evident that Ethan harbored personal grudges against Henry. Robert highlighted that Ethan had been passed over for a promotion by Henry just months before. "Mr. Grayson," Robert asked, his tone calm but piercing, "is it not true that you felt slighted by Mr. Alden when he chose another employee for the position you wanted?" Ethan hesitated, his face flushed. I may have been disappointed, but that has nothing to do with this case." "Disappointed enough to hold a grudge?" Robert pressed. Ethan's silence spoke volumes. The turning point came when Robert presented new forensic evidence. A digital analysis of the transactions revealed that someone had forged Henry's signature and used his access codes to divert funds. The IP address used for the transactions traced back not to Henry's office but to a location suspiciously close to Ethan's home. The courtroom gasped. All eyes turned to Ethan, who now looked pale and nervous. "Mr. Grayson," Judge Bellamy said, his voice calm but firm, "do you have anything to say about this new evidence?" Ethan stammered, his composure unraveling. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I just wanted him to understand what it feels like to lose something important." His confession sent shockwaves through the room. Ethan admitted to forging the transactions in an attempt to frame Henry, driven by jealousy and resentment. Judge Bellamy leaned back in his chair, his face unreadable as he processed the revelation. After a brief recess, he returned to deliver his verdict. "Henry Alden," he began, "this court finds you not guilty. The evidence clearly proves that you were the victim of a calculated scheme. Your name and reputation are hereby restored." Henry closed his eyes, relief washing over him. But Judge Bellamy wasn't finished. "Ethan Grayson," he said, turning his gaze to the young accountant, You have not only committed a crime but also betrayed the trust of this court and your community. Your actions nearly destroyed an innocent man's life. This court will ensure that justice is served." Ethan was taken into custody, his head bowed in shame. As the courtroom emptied, Henry approached Judge Bellamy. "Thank you, Your Honor," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "You've given me my life back." Judge Bellamy looked at him thoughtfully. "The truth has a way of finding its way to the surface, Mr. Alden. But remember, justice is not just about verdicts, it's about the courage to stand firm in the face of adversity." The courthouse, as always, stood tall and steadfast, a reminder to the townspeople that justice was not merely a set of laws but a moral compass that guided their lives. And Judge Bellamy, with his wisdom and fairness, ensured that the mirror of justice reflected the truth, no matter how deeply it was hidden.